Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. How are we all doing? Hey, Ronma, how you doing? Hi, Lilac. Thank you for your park entrance. So, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for the... Also, thank you for redeeming your park entrance, Ronma. So, are you guys ready for the face cam? Because I know we haven't done that in a hot while. Because I was just like, you know, I kind of want to do one. Mainly just because I wanted to mix it up a little bit. And I thought, why the hell not? Because I can be. Yeah, and I hope you're doing okay, Ronma. I saw your post in the Discord. I'm so sorry, my dude. And also, today we are going to be kind of going over the recent Power Ranger stuff that happened. Because it's not just the fact that Disney put the kibosh on the recent Power Rangers reboot. There was some stuff that's going on with Ninja Kids. I have zero idea as to who the fuck Ninja Kids are. But right now, they're kind of in some hot water. Because, from what I've seen, is that there is, there's generative AI being used in, their Mighty Morphin Power Ranger stuff. And as we all know, that is, a huge no-no. Because, you know, I'll sit here and say it for those who can't hear in the back. Fuck AI. Fuck generative AI. And it, from what I could tell, it's very glaringly obvious on Goldar. So apparently the morphing sequence was generative AI. Let me actually pull up the thingy here real quick, because the one that's very obvious is Goldar. His face. Like, his face is generative AI. Let me see here. What's it called? Ninja Kids TV Power Rangers AI. So, we're not going to watch all of it, because I really don't want to give these people the time of day. But I do want to kind of... Whoa. There we go. So, I really don't want to give these people the time of day because, again, fuck generative AI. But, I do want to kind of show you what I'm talking about as well. So, it says here that Ninja Kids use generative AI intelligence in promotional trailers and special effects sequences. So, such as morphing, character transformations like Lord Zed. And it says, so if I scroll down here, it said somewhere about, like, Goldar's face. I mean, like, you can obviously tell with Goldar. But also, they use stolen assets. So, they use stolen assets for their video by a guy named Mirrorlined Props. And this guy actually points it out too in his video that I do want to kind of go over. And it's just... Now, supposedly, this has been cleared up. Right, so this is supposedly cleared up. But it's... I mean, like, it still doesn't make it any better. Right? It really doesn't make it any better. Because it's... like... you know, beat for beat, the same design. So, but let me go ahead and turn on the webcam, because I actually had to move this from where this webcam usually is. So, because usually the webcam is over to my left over here, because that's usually the little area that I put like the model kit stuff on. But you know what? I thought, why not? I'll move everything over for this particular stream. So, All right, so let me see here real quick. So there we go. There we go. So there we go. So here is the face cam part of the stream. So I do apologize for the messy room here. Right now everything's still in storage. You can pretty much see everything back here, really. Like you can see like all the dinosaur stuff there. There's my tokusatsu stuff. There is there's my box art that I've saved from my model kits. There is all of the Zoids. So that one whole bin over there is just Zoids. And then down there, that is all of my Gunpla. And you can actually see, I don't know if you can see over there, but you can kind of see the Perfect Grade Mark II that I have. So, and then over yonder, over here, so the yellow bin over there, that is that's the Transformers bin. So that right there is the Transformers bin, and then the one down at the bottom, that is I believe that is the larger Zoids. How do they stay undamaged? I have lots and lots and lots of padding from the setup behind. I don't know who's this cutie I see right here. Hi, Sin. How you doing? So, and also behind me, you can also see that I put them all in Ziploc bags. I probably should have got some like bubble wrap or stuff like that, but yeah. Oh well. And as for like the dinosaurs and stuff like that, well, I'm gonna be honest here. The Hammond collection, I mean, like most of it's just the Hammond collection dinosaurs with some of the mainline JP line, so they're not the most fragile thing in the world. So, also let me give Sin a shout out here. Speaking of a absolute cutie here, but let's see here. My plan was when I get my own place to bubble wrap everything 10 times. See, that is a nice thing to say. It's just when you wrap stuff up, it gets, bigger and bigger and bigger, and it takes up more real estate. So, and then because you can see my backlog. So over there, that's all the backlog. In fact, actually, I put all the model kits you guys got for me. I try to consolidate those. So there's Daytime Meteor down there. So all the ones that you see here, like you can see the box for Fenrir back there. That's all the ones that you guys got for me. And I try to keep them all in like one little spot. And then you can see like all my cosplays. So you can see Draken's shield down there. There we go. And you can also see my Ranger helmet. So I have Dragon Ranger. He's behind the light there, but there's Kiba Ranger. You can see my Diplodocus and some weights. And behind me, and then also behind me, you can see you can see my Brachiosaurus and my Dreadnoughtus. Hell yeah, military dinosaur brother. Hey, how's it going, Damos? How you doing, my guy? Yeah, I'm wearing my old beat up army shirt. In fact, actually, you can see the holes here from Stepfather Rex's guitar pick. Just kind of shred this thing up. Then again, this is also very old. It is a very old shirt. I actually got this back in, I want to say, what, 20... Oh, God. I think 2021, 2022? So... But yeah, and also the little clear bin down right there, that's all of like my other tokusatsu stuff. So that's like all of my figure arts and whatnot. Let's see here, my old beat up shirt is lost in my closet. Yeah, no, I'm wearing my old beat up shirt because this is actually a very, very comfy and relaxing shirt. But also, speaking of like tokusatsu stuff, so down there, that little box underneath the dinosaur bin, that is also that's also all of my tokusatsu stuff. I think that one is you can see the Desire, I think it's the Desire driver, the Revice driver. You can see the belt for that. But that one has like all of my other like tokusatsu stuff. So you have things like my SIC Ryuki figure, the Mosasaurus from, and also the Pteranodon from Ryu Soldier that's in there as well. I think my giant statue of Deno is also in there as well. And then like on the bins there, you can see like my little bins for like parts and whatnot. So right there next to the Brachiosaurus and the Dreadnoughtus. Yeah, welcome to my little room tour. So, I hope you guys like it. And then also, shit, hang on. Damn. Ear itches, sorry. So, also, I went ahead, so yesterday, I went ahead because I was really, really excited about nearly finishing this guy, but we almost got Fenrir finished. So, I went ahead and I built his machete. So, only his machete and his tail, because I thought he looked really kind of naked without it. So, I mean, like, also, if you guys really want to see, like, my desk, so this is, like, a little tour here. So, we have, see, D4 Real, Bio Goji, there is, Legendary Goji, that's the NECA 24-inch, there's my custom Indominus, of course, there's Fenrir, there's, Arago Takao, Alternator Grimlock, IDW Grimlock, Shogun Grimlock, Oversized Masterpiece Grimlock. I love Grimlock. And then two of my Tyranids and the Revice stamp. And then I got like more Revice. As you can tell, I really love Kamen Rider Revice. And then some like books about dinosaurs. Jurassic Park, Origin of Species. I got a little Money Toad, a little Funko. Little Zaku head that I got. And then we got my Nids. So we got all the Tyranids that I'm going to be painting. There's the Doddles. And then we got the Ray Studio stuff that I use. There is some more rubber gloves. There's all of my, markers. And then that's the setup for, but yeah, there we go. See, the fact that the sword has a hidden katana. Oh yeah, no, like Fenrir is awesome. No, Fenrir is really, really cool. I love Fenrir. Also, my chair's a little crooked. There we go. Sorry, that was triggering my autism. But yeah, no, like that's just like my little like room tour. I mean, like there's some more stuff over here as well. Because over here, there's like two bins. There's two more bins. This is basically like a whole apartment right here that's just consolidated into a basement. In fact, actually, speaking of Kintaro, so you can see Kintaro's kimono over yonder. So, but yeah, so I might rearrange the two bins back there so that way the Zoids aren't being like crushed by the Transformers. Because really the only thing that's keeping those Zoids from not being completely just like smashed is just extra foam padding that I've had from the apartment, and there's also like my Monster Arts Rathalos in there. I honestly don't really care too much about that figure because it's not that great. It's been broken so many times. Mainly just because it's too brittle. I'm gonna be honest with you. Also, sorry that I'm not in regulations. Also, hey Dragon, how you doing? Yeah, sorry if I'm not like in regulations. I'm a little scruffy from the weekend. I didn't really take the time to like shave, and also my hair is a mess at the moment. Haven't really got the time to. I believe this is like what, 2 months worth of not getting a haircut, and I really need to get a haircut. So I know some people like my hair long. I personally don't. I mean, right now it's at the manageable level. You know what I'm saying? It's at the manageable level. So, but I think sometime, probably next week. Yeah, next week. I'll get a haircut. So, but yeah, no. So the last time you guys saw me, I have been working out as I've been showing off with my selfies from the gym. And plus, you also guys get to see like just how broad I actually am. Like, if you've never seen like any of like my like gym pictures and stuff like that, but now you can really kind of tell just like how absolutely like broad I am. I'm a very, very broad guy. The thing is, like, that is the one thing I will say that I based a little bit of my model on. I mean, like, most of it's not really based off my IRL self, but except for like the build, especially like upper body build, it is based more so on me because I'm a very natural, broad individual. Like, my shoulder span alone is like 24 inches. People have actually measured it. My one shoulder right here is about like 6 inches. Or, yeah. No, 12 inches. 6 inches is tiny. Yeah, 12 inches. And it's like, no slope either. Like, zero slope. So. But yeah, no, I hope you guys like this, though. Because I think we're gonna be... So I'm gonna have, VTuber me. Let me impose him a little bit. There we go. So that way people cannot get pissed about saying like, "Oh, you're not a real VTuber. You're not a real VTuber." It's like, yeah, I am. I am also came from the cosplay scene, so I'm not really too much of afraid to like show my face, if I'm gonna be honest. Which honestly, I've been showing a lot of my face more often because of VTubing. It's building up the confidence to actually show my face a lot more often. So, I mean, like, yeah, no, for this stream, we're gonna have both IRL me and the sexy Dino Man me on the same, at the same time. So, yeah, no, my immersion, it's like, see, the thing with me is that I don't mind the immersion all too much, but at the exact same time, I'm like, I mean, like, for me, I don't really play too much of a character. Like, for me, Grarl is me. I am Grarl. So, I mean, like, yeah, I like to play a little bit fast and loose with the lore just to kind of, like, keep people entertained. But for the most part, this is just, I mean, like, honestly, this is just me. Right? This is me, like, just being a silly little dinosaur man. I'm going to put my hat back on because I look atrocious. I look atrocious right now. So, you guys are going to see the hat go on now. So, but I do want to talk about some stuff, though. See, I'm joking. Yeah, no, I totally get it. No, I totally get it, but I do know that, especially since nowadays, people are going on and on about, and I think it's mainly because of BOW, but a lot of people are sitting there saying, like, well, what exactly means to be a VTuber? It's like, well, for me, like I said, for me, when I first started off with VTubing, I was very self-conscious about it. I mean, I still am to a degree. However, holy crap, there's a human face. There is a human face. How you doing, Oni? Yes, this is what I actually look like. I'm not as I'm not much of a bombshell. I'm not much of a bombshell as my model. My model's very attractive. Because I'm like, you know, I don't want my thing to look like me for the most part. I mean, like, no shade to those who want to base their models off of their real life body. More power to you, but for me personally, it's like, if I want to be an anime character, I want to be an anime character, right? I look at myself every day. I don't want my model to reflect. I don't want my model to reflect what I look like every day. So no, like, I'm sorry, I don't look nearly as attractive as my model. Yeah, I know it changes everything, right? Like, oh my God, there's a real life human face. There's a real human to this dinosaur guy. And yes, I do have tons of dinosaur stuff in my room. Yes, you know, it's very on brand, if you will. But no, I do want to talk about stuff because there is some stuff that I do want to kind of go over, because of the fact that there is some stuff about Power Rangers, and I normally don't really talk about too much about Power Rangers, mainly just because I'm not really much of a Power Ranger fan. I am more so of a Sentai fan. I'm a Sentai purist. I do not hide. I do not hide this shame that I am in fact a Sentai purist. I will always prefer Sentai over Power Rangers. Now, I will sit there and say that yes, there are Power Ranger seasons where they're just as good, nearly as good as the Sentai, but good examples are things like Time Force. Time Force is about as good as Time Ranger. From what my friend Akami says, because she loves Time Ranger, she loves Time Fire. So, and so funny. Okay, so real quick, and then we'll go into the Power Ranger stuff. So the one thing I will say though is that this right here that Grarl does, I do that every day. I do fold my arms all the time. I really do. I'm actually very comfortable with my arms being folded. I've always been told like that is a sign of like bad manners or like you're just being closed up. It's like, no, I'm just very comfortable like this. And I think that was probably one of the hardest things I had to do while I was in combat training, was that I had to learn not to fold my arms, because you get in trouble. You would get in big trouble for that. I'm seeing a lot of people snap at the arm peg at the... Really? The Q-Rex is having CQ, like, QC issues? That is... Well, hang on, let me look at it, actually. Let me take a look at it. Let's see here. Let's do SMP V-Rex. It's Time Ranger, not Time Force. I mean, like, looking at the arm connections. Yeah, so looking at the arm connections here, let me see if I can pull this up here real quick. Let's see here. Actually, let's do this. There we go. Okay, so oh god, hang on. Okay, so we're gonna get a little tricky here. We are gonna get a little tricky here. Hang on, we're gonna try something here. We're gonna try something here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so looking at the SMP V-Rex, I can tell looking at its... So, how it's... You said, like, the arm peg is being snapped off, because from what I'm looking at is that it really has, like a little hinge right there. I could be wrong, but... Now, is it also is it just in the T-Rex mode, or is it in the robot mode? Because for the T-Rex, I can see that just because it does have like this little hinge right there that looks like it could be prone to snapping. But also, if it is the robot mode, I can kind of see that too, just because, just of how the mechanism is, because this is doing a lot of work, right? It's doing a lot of work. So you have like this auto-morphing gimmick here, like it does in the original toy. So you have this thing swinging these arms around, and then not only is it being part of a mechanism, but it's also being, you know, posable. It's also, you know, for like posability stuff. So something's gonna give. And then also, you know, it's a model kit. It's not a toy, right? It's not like, you know, it's not like Grimlock here where I can just sit there and just, you know, move his shit around, right? I can sit here and just like move Grimlock's arms and all that kind of stuff, right? Let's see here. Not exactly QC issues. I think it's the forearm of the Rex. Yeah, that's what I was saying though, is that it's on like a little bit of like a hinge or something like that. Like, that doesn't look like it's going to be the most stable thing in the world. So I can totally see why it would be prone to snapping. So, I mean, also, granted, I would probably be displaying this thing in robot mode anyways, which is kind of odd because normally when it comes to bestial things like Transformers and stuff like that, I usually like to display them in dinosaur mode because robot dinosaurs are cool and shit. But no, like here, I would probably display this thing in like the robot mode because that's pretty tight. So now speaking of Power Rangers, right? So let me do this real quick. Where'd you go? Where is that? Here it is. So now this is something I want to pull up as well, and it is kind of, now it has been kind of sort of resolved, but I also want to show you guys before we go into the cancellation, I do want to show you guys this whole generative AI thing that's been going on with this Ninja Kids TV thing. I know literally nothing about Ninja Kids, right? I know absolutely nothing about Ninja Kids. Wait, hang on, let me see here. Let me see if I can go to just chatting. See if I could try to. What in the buy streamer hell? Hey Axel, how you doing? Yeah, so I decided to do a face cam along with my VTuber model just because I thought why not. So now I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna show the entire thing just because I really don't want to give these people the time of day because they are using generative AI. Well, thank you. I'm glad it works. So now what I do want to show you guys, and plus this is actually this will actually probably work a lot better. There we go. So this here is part of what is called Ninja Kids TV's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which I'm gonna save my little tangent for all of this after we go over the whole cancellation attempt. I would say attempt, but it's already happened. So the cancellation of the potential Disney Plus Power Rangers thing that was talked about. So I do want to show you this real quick. So I want to pause this. So this is what people are talking about, Ninja Kids TV using like AI.
It's Goldar.
So for context, the whole face here generative AI. That has been confirmed. It is generative AI.
Playtime is over, children.
Over?
And you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell that it's generative AI.
We're just getting warmed up.
What's the plan?
Hang on, let me shrink
It's
him down.
morphin' time.
Now, also the morphing sequence is also apparently generative AI.
When you say that.
It's obvious. It's very obvious. Now, this is hilarious because it's like they really didn't try with this one because yes. I've always known that the Blue Ranger's Dinozord was the clearly that's a Triceratops. That is clearly a Triceratops. You know, I never knew that Triceratops were fuzzy, had feline features, saber-toothed teeth, and no horns on their heads, which literally gives it the whole fucking name, Triceratops, which means three-horned face. I mean, stupid me, right? No, like that was just like, come on, really? And we'll get to this one. We'll get to this one. So that is also generative AI. The morphing sequence is AI. So that is very, very much generative AI. Oh, that is... Yeah. Yep, you can tell. They did not even try.
Awesome, don't we?
Now I will say this. I do like the suits. The suits are kind of cool. I do like the pattern of the suits.
You are no match for the mighty Goldar.
Let's send this flying monkey back to.
Just
I'm not a monkey.
yeah, nice lip sync there, buddy. Like I want to see that again. I want to see that again.
Back to Oz.
I'm not a monkey.
Nice, yeah, nice lip syncing there, buddy. Like, wow, you didn't even try. And then also, apparently, all of like the special effects are generative AI. Also, I also never knew that rangers that morph are protected by the morphing grid by sending them to a temporary dimension. Oh wait, nope. They're just standing there. Yeah, so that's like the whole lore is that apparently while they're morphing, they're protected by the morphing grid, which is complete utter bullshit because that's just them trying to work their way around the Sentai. And we'll get around to that too. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, sweetheart. We will get around to that too. The acting is not great. The acting is not great either. My god, that freeze frame. That he generally looks like he's about to take a shit. So, I want you all to look at these power coins, though. I want you to take a good long look at those power coins. So, there's a bit of controversy around this. And that is probably the next thing we're going to go over, which are these people. So, this here... Excuse me. There we go. So this here is mirrored line props. I was saying that they're just standing there. Well, yeah, no, but what I'm saying though is that apparently that is the explanation is that they are that's them trying to get around the Sentai, right? So this here is mirrored lined props. They are known for making cosplay props. And very good ones too. Like I believe that's one of them right now. That is their prop for Deca Ranger. also known as Power Rangers SPD. Right? So, and then we have some, I think these are the Psycho Ranger weapons. Yeah, I think these are Psycho Ranger weapons. Right? So good stuff here, right? Good stuff here, right? Pretty good stuff, right? So, let's get back to Hey, Nanny Jane, I'm gonna have to ban you for that. How you doing over there on YouTube? Hang on, let me ban this person real quick. Give me a second here, because I can't do that over on my my OBS end. Well, I don't know. Let me see here. Oh wait, here we go. Put user in timeout. Oh, hang on. Let's see here. Let's do unwanted spam. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead. Who was put in timeout? Also, how are you doing, Grand? There's someone over on the YouTube side named what is this? Nanny Lane. So we're gonna go over to the YouTube side real quick, because apparently I can't do anything on the OBS side. I've never really had to deal with anyone like this. So, but how are you doing, Grand? So let me put the music back on. So let me see here. So I can't. So can I not block people? I guess I can't block people. Oh wait, hang on. Let me see here, because I think I can go to their channel, right? Let's see here. Report. Oh wait, hang on. Let's see here. I wish you could do this kind of stuff easy, like how it is here on Twitch. So, also thank you for the head pats. Thank you. How you doing today? Nice. I'm glad you're doing good. All right. So, with this being said here, so mirror line props. So remember those power coins, right? Remember those power coins. So there's a little bit of controversy with Ninja Kids and Power Rangers, because apparently they actually used their stuff without. Hang on, let me see here real quick. So they apparently used their stuff here without their knowledge. Hang on, let me see here. There we go. Yeah, so they used the power coin designs from Mirrored Line. And you can clearly tell. It has like the same little chips right there and everything. The only thing that I can see that's relatively different is that they kind of fatten out the tusk a little bit, because it does look a little goofy towards the front. But then again, like, well, except for this one looks about the same, but this one right here, they did kind of like fatten it out a little bit. And it's not just the mammoth tusk, it's all of them. You know, the Pteranodon, the Tyrannosaurus. Again, you can see these two little chips right here on the coins. The saber-toothed tiger. It's pretty egregious. Now, supposedly, there's been an update to this. And it says here, update on Ninja Kid situation. They have reached out and said that Playmates was in charge of all post-production following the C&D. The film was still released under the Ninja Kids TV name, and I have asked them to raise the situation to their contacts. Now, the other thing though is that I feel like they really should have just taken this down. Check. Mic check. There we go. Hi, Scorpy. How you doing? Thank you for redeeming your park entrance. All right. So, also thank you for redeeming first. So, with this here, I feel like when it comes to like, I'm not even gonna say like the bad acting and stuff like that. I mean, bad acting is bad acting. But what I'm saying though is that they use generative AI. Like, it's glaringly obvious that they use generative AI. Not only that, but they also use stolen assets from a prop maker, right? So, if it were me, if I were in charge of this production, I would have taken down the video. I would have, if I were like, say, Ninja Kids or Playmates and saw this unraveling, I would have taken it down. That's just me, because that's just, you know, you're asking for trouble. So it says here, so it says here, Ninja Kids has replied and said, we were 10% complete with the post when we got the cease and desist. After all posts were managed by Playmates under the direction of Hasbro. So it's starting to make a little bit more sense now. When we were in charge, it was important to us that we got permission from all artists. That's why Toku J was involved. Now, I do like Toku J. I have followed Toku J back on Instagram. He makes phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal cosplays. In fact, actually, let me see here real quick. I wonder, does he have a Twitter? Because he did he did like this really cool Green Ranger helmet that looked almost like an Aztec helmet. It was really, really cool. Let's see here, Toku J. Does he have a Twitter? He does have a Twitter. Okay. No, wait, no, it's not Toku J. No, Toku J does the like 3D kind of stuff. Okay. No, there's another Toku on Instagram that makes really good cosplays, and I'll have to figure that out real quick. But let me see here. So Toku J does a lot of like 3D renders. Okay. So this is some of Toku J's work. Really, really good stuff. I still follow him on Instagram regardless. Who was the one that... Hang on, let me see here real quick. Who's the other one that I was thinking of? Let me see here. Let's see here. Custom Green Ranger. There was one that... It wasn't Aniki. Which I will say, if you want to do tokusatsu cosplays, don't ever work with Aniki. Aniki makes really, 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 really good stuff. They do. They make phenomenal stuff. But Aniki is the worst to work with because... fuck, where is it? Was it... No, it's not that one. It was like Toku something. I can't remember. I'll have to find it later. So what I mean by this with Anarchy is that Anarchy makes really, really good cosplays. In fact, I believe Anarchy, some of their stuff was in the shows. Like, that's how good they are. But when it comes to Anarchy, their waitlist are years down the line. Years. So, like, if you want to commission something from them, you're looking at probably 5 years down the line. That's how long their waitlist is. Unless you're someone who's very big in the tokusatsu cosplay scene. Then, all of a sudden, they'll get your orders out lickety-split. Trust me, I know. Trust me on this one, I kind of know. I've known people who've commissioned their stuff from Anarchy, and it's pretty true. So, anyway. So, back to this. So, let's see here. Was involved. The project will never reach its full vision due to the cease and desist, but we are grateful that Hasbro agreed to release something. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, though, is that I kind of wish that they didn't, and they would have just shelved this. I honestly, for me, I feel like they really should have shelved this. I mean, like, granted, Hasbro using generative AI for their works is nothing new. I mean, they were in some pretty hot water back in the day, or, well, not back in the day, but a few years ago with Magic the Gathering, and I think they still do it now, where they use generative AI for their cards. But also, Hasbro being shitty towards people with their products is nothing new either. There was that story not a couple, but like a few years ago, where some guy got a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards early. And Hasbro decided that, in all of their wonderful knowledge, is that they wanted to send after the people known as the Pinkertons after this guy, basically to bully and intimidate him to basically shut him up. So, Hasbro being absolutely diabolically shady when it comes to stuff like this, it's not new. Even with Transformers, they use generative AI for their box art. People have called them out on it a few times. So it says here, thank you for reaching out. I share your disappointment that this project suffered as a result of legal proceedings. It is lost in the conversation about AI use. Yeah, don't ever use generative AI. But actors, filmmakers, and crew did real work on the project. I have a deep and abiding love for Power Rangers, which I'm sure is shared by some or all of those involved in filming. As it stands, the Ninja Kids TV name is currently associated with and listed as the property owner of a film that uses my designs without permission. Please raise this matter through your internal channels so that we can resolve this issue. So again, for me personally, they were using stuff without people's permission. So honestly, I feel like they really should have just shelved the project in general. That is just my honest opinion. You know, actually get some real visual effects workers out there. And I've seen people who make things on a shoestring budget pull out better stuff than this. In fact, actually, there is a... let me see if I can pull it up here. There is a Halo fan film, I believe, someone is making right now. And they are doing all of the effects, costumes, and everything. And it's looking pretty good. Let me see here if I can find it real quick. Let's see here. Halo ODST fan film. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's not Landfall. Operation Whiteout. Try to see if I can find it. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's one. I remember this one. Yeah, I remember this one. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Okay. So this here is Halo ODST Contact. Again, this is a fan. This is fan made on on fan made budget, and they somehow managed to do this with like no AI. All live action. All live action. That is nasty. Again, fan made. Fan made. And this was, I think, what? You see here? This was made 4 years ago. This was made 4 years ago. So, and again, this is fan made with like no AI of any kind. So the fact that these people can sit here and make pretty good, some pretty good like live action, or like I think this is CGI, but they managed to do all of this on like what is it basically a shoestring. If not, they do this with like collaborations with other fans. Things like, you know, what Playmates or like Hasbro has no fucking excuse. So, no, I'm very disappointed. But I do also want to sit here and say is that before we move on to sit here and say this is that I do want to sit here and say is that I'm an affiliate with HobbyLinkJapan. HobbyLinkJapan is your #1 hobby store in the world for all of your anime figure and your model kit needs. Use my chat command code !HLJ, take you directly to the website. They do ship worldwide. The best thing about HobbyLinkJapan is that it all comes straight from Japan. And also, I'm an affiliate with Waifu Wears. Use my chat command code Waifu, take you directly to the website. And also use my code GRAWLBROWN at checkout for 15% off on all of your online purchases. All right, so with that out of the way. So with that out of the way, let me see here. So let me go ahead and close all this stuff. Okay, so let me blow this up a little bit. Okay, so it's morphing time no more. Disney axes Power Ranger reboot series. According to Deadline, Disney has chosen not to move forward with conceptualized Power Ranger reboot that was planned for streaming on Disney Plus. The new series was which was in planning and concept stages from Jonathan E. Steinberg and Dan Schultz of Percy Jackson. I don't know too much about the Percy Jackson show. I don't know how good it is. I don't know, so I can't really vouch for that. So, failed to get past the early stages of development. Power Rangers fans are left asking why, but the answer is right in front of them. It's just not a financially smart decision to invest time, money, and resources into a brand that continuously fails to capture key audience demographics. Disney has also reevaluated all their production costs moving forward and chosen to stick to things they own. which I think is funny. Well, no. Oh wait, no, they don't own Power Rangers. That's right. Hasbro does. Unfortunately. Let's see here. Versus taking on IP owned by other companies. Looking back, Saban Brands and Lionsgate teamed up together to create the 2017 Power Rangers movie, which was considered a box office bust. Yes, it was. I was there. I was at I went to the theater that when this thing came out, and it was not great. I will say it was the best way I can describe this. So the best way I can honestly describe this is that it was a movie. It was a movie. It was the most movie to movie. It was mediocre. The concept of like the Krispy Kreme being the MacGuffin was really stupid. It was really dumb. And I think they took a little bit too much artistic liberties to make things more alien, where it just didn't come out. It came out weird, right? It came out weird. But also we're about to take an ad break here in about 5 seconds. So when we get back, we will read more about this. So I'll see you guys after the break, everybody.